Do I have shortcomings? Totally. I'm only shortcoming as a matter of fact. There are such countless regions where I miss the mark. I'm not areas of strength for normally or adaptable. My astuteness is not even close to phenomenal. I can get profound over trifling things, let my sentiments disrupt my activities, and I, in some cases, eat some unacceptable food varieties or fish insufficient rest. I hesitate, sit around, and stress over things that don't make any difference. I care a lot about useless interruptions and insufficient about the significant stuff that truly matters. My self-image frequently disrupts the general flow, and my psyche feels too little, frequently caught inside itself, restricting my true capacity. Yet, this is the very thing that I've learned. Shortcoming isn't something we can get away. It's important for the human experience. We as a whole have shortcomings, and recognizing them is the most vital move toward making them to a lesser extent a boundary. Each imperfection we convey is a chance to develop, to drive ourselves to be better. What's more, despite the fact that we might have shortcomings, we likewise have the ability to change and create. Our shortcomings don't need to characterize us. They can turn into the impetuses for development. At the point when we push against our own impediments, we begin to get through boundaries we never figured we could. Defeating shortcoming is certainly not a one-time exertion. It's a ceaseless excursion, a lifetime responsibility. Every day is a chance to fight against the negative contemplations, unfortunate things to do, and self-question that keep us down. Each time we make a move to improve, we reinforce our body or psyche, yet our versatility. Furthermore, flexibility permits us to continue to go in any event. When circumstances become difficult, it trains us that disappointment is simply one more chance to learn, not something to be dreaded. Now and then, we are hesitant to concede our shortcomings since society frequently celebrates flawlessness. In any case, genuine strength doesn't come from keeping away from botches. It comes from figuring out how to deal with them, figuring out how to develop through them. While we're willing to embrace our shortcomings, we permit ourselves to be available to development. We can prevent stowing away from our inadequacies and begin dealing with them directly. The best way to defeat shortcoming is to recognize it and afterward battle against it slowly and carefully. Your shortcomings are not something to be embarrassed about. They are your chances for change. On the off chance that you've been feeling like your shortcomings are too perfect to even consider surviving, make a stride back and see how far you proactively come. The simple reality that you're actually standing, actually trying, implies that you've proactively won a fight. Presently, continue to battle. Continue to get to the next level. Continue to develop. Strength is constructed each day in turn, and with every day you become somewhat more grounded than previously. I can share all that I've done to improve. However, there's one thing I can't accomplish for you. I can't crush for you. I can't make you push through the hard minutes. That is something no one but you can do. So you really want to ask yourself, what is your why? What persuades you to continue onward in any event when the streak gets extreme? What is what drives you, that pushes you to continue to go when you're prepared to stop? Your why is the main thrust behind each choice you make. It's the explanation you get up right on time, the explanation you work late, the explanation you push through the torment and fatigue. It moves you along when others surrender, when the street gets unpleasant, and when uncertainty creeps in. Your why is the fuel that keeps you moving in any event when your body and brain are advising you to stop. Also, the more remarkable your why, the more relentless you become. An excessive number of individuals resemble the gazelle, running simply because they're being pursued. They do what they should do in light of the fact that the strain is on. Yet what happens when that tension stops? When the pursuit is finished, they stop as well. They quit running. In any case, that is not the lifestyle choice. If you have any desire to be perfect, you really want a more profound reason, something that pushes you in any event. When there's nobody pursuing you, your why will turn into the groundwork of all that you do, the wellspring of your discipline, your coarseness, and your assurance. At the point when you have a why, everything changes. Your choices become more straightforward. You become more engaged. You begin seeing each test as a venturing stone toward your objective. At the point when you realize the reason why you're following through with something, the apprehension about disappointment blurs away from plain sight. You start to act with reason, with expectation, and with certainty. It's not necessary to focus on the result. It's about the excursion and remaining consistent with your motivation each and every day. Without a solid why, you're simply making a cursory effort. You could arrive at your objective, yet you will not have a similar satisfaction as when you've been driven by a profound feeling of direction. Your why transforms difficulties into examples, misfortunes into amazing open doors, and disappointments into venturing stones. It will keep you grounded when circumstances become difficult, and it will lift you up while you're feeling down. The force of a why is that it doesn't simply make you work harder, it makes the work worth the effort. At the point when life wrecks you, when things get hard, don't cry to stop. Cry to continue onward. You're now in torment. You're now stinging. You proactively experienced a battle. In any case, there's power in torment in the event that you can push through it. There's a prize sitting tight for you on the opposite side. Try not to cry to stop, cry to continue to battle. Torment is inescapable, however, enduring is a decision. It is actually the case that life can be agonizing. Once in a while, things don't go the manner in which you arranged, and you wind up in circumstances that vibe excruciating. Yet, inside that agony is a chance for development. The more we persevere, the more we find out about ourselves and what we're able to do. Each difficult second is an example, and in the event that we can get through it, we come out more grounded. The way to transforming torment into power is embracing it, not running from it. The actual battle turns into the wellspring of our solidarity. Try not to allow your aggravation to overcome you. All things considered, let it fuel you. Allow it to hone your concentration and increase your purpose. You are more grounded than you suspect, and each tough spot you face adds one more layer to your flexibility. The more you push through, the more you become acquainted with defeating affliction. You foster mental durability, a power that won't be quickly shaken. Furthermore, when the following test comes your direction, you will not be apprehensive, you'll be ready. Torment additionally shows us lowliness. It advises us that we are not strong, that we are human, and that we have limits. In any case, it's in tolerating our restrictions that we track down the ability to rise above them. The capacity to embrace weakness, to continue onward in spite of it, is perhaps the most grounded quality you can have. At the point when you embrace torment as an educator, as opposed to a foe, you permit it to shape you into somebody rugged. The more aggravation you experience, the more you figure out how to travel through it. You figure out how to adjust your attitude to zero in on the positive parts of each test and to track down importance even in difficulty. That is the force of torment. It changes you, shows you, and reinforces you in manners that ease never could. Agony be awkward, however, it's not long-lasting, and it is constantly trailed by development. Embrace the battle. Try not to run from torment. All things being equal, view at it as a test, a chance to even out, up, to extend, to rise. Torment is brief, however, the strength you gain from defeating it endures until the end of time. At the point when you face difficulties that vibe incomprehensible, when the circumstance appears to be irredeemable, recall this: you should just go for broke. There's nothing keeping you down, so stand up. Continue to push ahead. Deal with that challenge directly and give it all that you have. Regardless of whether you accept you can win, regardless of whether you think the situation is anything but favorable for you, recall, you should just go for it. And that is a strong spot to be. The second you conclude that disappointment isn't a choice, you enter an alternate domain of plausibility. You quit agonizing over what could turn out badly and begin zeroing in on what you can do well. Each move you make, each step in the right direction is a triumph. The more you push through the inconceivable, the more you'll understand that you're prepared to do significantly more than you at any point expected. Everything revolves around beating the willful furthest reaches that hold you back from arriving at your maximum capacity. At the point when it seems like the chances are unrealistic, when each entryway appears to be shut, recall there's consistently a way. The unimaginable is just something you haven't sorted out yet. It's a test you want to ascend to, and the most effective way to do that is to continue to push ahead with ingenuity, imagination, and the won't to ever stop. The incomprehensible begins to turn into somewhat less unthinkable. Every little success will make energy that pushes you toward better progress. Question is a characteristic piece of the excursion, yet it doesn't characterize you. The main thing that characterizes you is your activities. Thus, in any event, when you feel questionable or overpowered, continue to push ahead. Believe that the strength you want to succeed is as of now inside you. It probably won't be noticeable yet it's there, prepared to arise as you deal with every impediment and challenge directly. The unthinkable doesn't exist except if you permit it to. In the event that you need something sufficiently terrible, you'll figure out how to get it going. Try not to acknowledge rout until each choice has been depleted. Continue pushing, continue endeavoring, and continue to battle. At the point when you will not withdraw, the unthinkable turns out to be simply one more obstacle to jump over. To arrive at your most elevated potential, you want both inclination and rationale. You want your feelings to fuel you when your brain lets you know it's incomprehensible. Also, when your feelings are excessively, you really want to depend on rationale to keep you grounded. There will be times when it's a horrible idea to continue onward. The sensible decision may be to stop, to leave, to acknowledge disappointment. However, that is the point at which you want to dig. Your feelings can be a strong wellspring of solidarity when utilized accurately. Outrage can fuel assurance, bitterness can rouse compassion, and dread can push you to face challenges you could have kept away from in any case. Yet feelings can likewise cloud judgment. At the point when you're excessively close to home, you could go with choices in view of dread, stress, or motivation, as opposed to rationale. The key is knowing when to pay attention to your feelings and when to allow rationale to direct you. Rationale, then again, can give you clearness. It can assist you with getting a handle on the disorder around you and make an organized arrangement to follow. Rationale assists you with seeing the master plan, to stay away from ill-advised choices, and to settle on decisions that are in arrangement with your drawn-out objectives. Nonetheless, assuming you depend just on rationale, you could miss the enthusiasm, drive, and motivation that your feelings can give.
The test is in tracking down the equilibrium. You want your feelings to push you forward, however, you likewise need rationale to keep you on target. You need to know when to pay attention to your heart and when to pay attention to your psyche. The best individuals are the people who ace this equilibrium, knowing how to saddle both inclination and rationale to fuel their excursion. Eventually, it's not necessary to focus on picking one over the other. It's tied in with figuring out how to move between the two, utilizing each to help the other. At the point when you balance feeling and rationale, you find that you can push through any hindrance with clearness and power. Your heart gives you enthusiasm. Your psyche gives you technique. And together they make you relentless.